This is taken just shy of the 10 here. A beautiful fake. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now.
Here we go now.
Petty now. And he's got him over the middle. Fedorowicz. A pickup there of 37. And it'll give the Texans a first down.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now it's Miller running right. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Partner, I think the easy thing now would be to just abandon the run and start throwing the football at all costs. But I've been in so many games where it doesn't work running the ball, and then something pops, and now you get something going. I'm not so sure to just abandon your game plan this early in the second half.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And finding Fedorowicz. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I don't know if there's any other way to put it, but that play was blown up right from the snap. How about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? It's almost like they were in the offensive huddle.
Yeah, it's one thing to stand them up from that 1-yard line. Pushing them back to the 5, though. Wow.
Yeah, I like what you just said there. Not just stand them up, but end up making a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Texans defense heading back out now, ready to get their cracks again. They're hoping to do what they did last time, force another punt. Last time it resulted in a field goal. We'll see if they can get another stop here, though.
And the best defenses are in the business of preventing points and creating points. And that's exactly what these guys did on their last possession. Why? Because they got off the field on 3 and out, turned the ball over to their offense after the punt, and let them roll downfield and put the ball through the post for a field goal. Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Wright's got it. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. All right, so what do you make of these numbers here? Back-to-back games where he's really, really struggling.
Well, I go back to our meeting with the head coach, and you asked him about what happened last week and whether you thought he'd come out of it. And he was a little hesitant, wasn't he? He wasn't real confident about what he would see. He was hopeful.
Right.
And that always scares me a little bit if I'm a player, if I had actually heard that. But as a broadcaster, listen to the head coach say he's hopeful. Well, so far that hope hasn't been realized.
Yeah, we both noted that after, and you're right, it hasn't been realized.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
Good job, D. Good job.
Still first down.
Here we go. Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run with Miller. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Here we go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Here we go with 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they get 28 yards on that one. And the Titans are going to have a first. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did. I
think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Murray, the lone setback. He's going to get the football. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They run again with Murray. He's seen a ton of action tonight. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
And this is going to be incomplete. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll get the deficit back to 16. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now the Titans defense gets set to go again. They're hoping to keep this margin right where it is, trailing 3rd quarter. Don't want to get down anymore.
You're exactly right. They're in no position to give up any more points. They have to keep it in a spot where if their offense does catch a spark and get hot, they've got a chance to come back and win this game.
I guess the word manageable, you always want to keep it manageable, right?
Make sure that the game doesn't get away, and mentally you look up at the scoreboard and say, there's no chance of us coming back.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So deja vu all over again. Another good week, and sometimes maybe because the defense doesn't look that bad, maybe this is just good offense beating good defense in his case.
I like that because we always want to point out that there's a breakdown or someone made a mistake or there was an error. Sometimes it's exactly as you described it. Sometimes they just made better plays, and that's what he's been doing for the last 2 weeks. Someone's got to find a way to cover this guy. Otherwise, he may set some records.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And the numbers, they sort of do the talking. Great game last week. Sharp again here in this one.
Sometimes you set habits with how you play, don't you? I mean, you start to put things together, you string them together, and the confidence continues to rise. And guess what? We're seeing that happen in front of us. Back-to-back weeks of really good play.
And the confidence certainly must be continuing to grow. They come out here in the eye. Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Still second down.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Here's Patty. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Work out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down. Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7.
Tight right, tight right.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the 1st down.
So the run gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Here we go.
Play clock winding down. They'll drop to throw. And Stills over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
All right, here we go.
And the play clock's running down. He'll look to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So out comes the field goal team once more. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's Marcus Wheaton now to return it. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Houston defense we watch as they get set to go. A field goal last time is what they gave up in a close game. All these drives start to feel so critical.
And they are. And, you know, we've met so many defensive coordinators who just really hate the bend but don't break mentality. They're much more of the aggressive school. But that mentality has won a lot of games. If you're only giving up field goals on drives, that usually keeps you in it and gives your offense a chance to retaliate.
Yeah, right now it's got him with the lead. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there again. My goodness, that is now his 4th sack tonight.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Castle. Left side caught by Matthews. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's Castle. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he did get it back, I do think, yes. So no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a first down.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight right. Tight right. 3 down. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Again, it's Miller. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's got him over the middle. Fedorowicz. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So a change of possession here on the punt, and it'll be Titan football. Now the Titans getting set to go, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
somewhere
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's got time. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And right with it here over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
3 yards to go here on 2nd down. Back to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
23 yards on the play.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Got you now, Barney, Barney.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And Walker with it over the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Looking to throw. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
82 is mine. I got 82.
Now let's go. Blue, Landy.
Now Castle. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score.
Ringo, Ringo, Ringo. Coming for you, son. I'm
All
coming
right, here we go. Blue, Landy.
Here's Castle. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a first and goal. They're going to hurry back to the line now. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Rashard Matthews the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
Tight end right.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw again. And that is caught. Walker, touchdown Titans. Delaney Walker, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game, they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. So that drive spans 13 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and...
The Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. This is Miller, and he'll fall. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Miller, the lone setback. And they'll get it up the middle. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
One final kneel down here as it comes inside the 42nd mark, and that should be enough to put this one on ice. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game, but these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Texans, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll drop down to 1-3. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.